The Bad Guys Breaking In. This is the new Netflix continuation of the movies. That is a prequel to the movies. Which I like that approach because it does mean that continuity, which is a big problem with DreamWorks animated series projects, isn't as big as a concern because it doesn't show you much in the future, so you don't have to worry about, oh, if they do something in the future, well, the show contradicts that. However, there are contradictions in this show, just like every DreamWorks animated show, which is just kind of funny. It's like DreamWorks does these animated shows of all their properties, and they literally, none of them are canon to the movies. Because if any of them were canon to the movies, it would literally make no sense. The closest one to being canon is the King Julian show, because most of that show is focused on them before on Madagascar, and who knows what could have happened in that time, right? But the rest of the time, none of these series are canon. It literally makes no sense that they'd be canon, and this makes no difference. Like for example, spoilers for the Bad Guys 2 because it came out in August. So you've had time to watch it, but still spoilers. Um, they show us a flashback of Spider joining the group. Well, in this one, they show sequences of Snake and Spider being like younger together, which doesn't make any sense. How can they be younger together when Spider was a part of the group, only joined the group way later? So it just, things like that. It's not a big deal, but I will say this: I was not hyped for this show. First of all, I enjoyed the first Bad Guys movie. Thought it was pretty unique and different, mostly animation wise, but still very unique style to everything. Very surprising movie. The surprise didn't really work with the second one because, well, I kind of knew what to get out of it, so I didn't really enjoy it as much. And the more I've thought about it, I've actually liked it more because that film, the more I've thought about, kind of realized there was a lot of subtext in that movie about, people who commit crimes, not violent crimes or like crimes that are super harmful to our society, like minor crimes like thieving. Uh, Even when they get out of prison, they are treated like dirt by the system. So we're supposed to rehabilitate these people. It's hard to rehabilitate people because the system doesn't really allow that, and that's kind of what that movie was about. Um, and I thought there was some deeper subtext in that I thought was kind of cool. But other than that, I just thought it was an okay movie. So when it came to the show coming out, I was like, well, I'm already like 2 for 2, or 1 for 2 out of 1 out of 2 here of being really into these. And then I didn't like the holiday specials, which I'm assuming it's the same people who made those holiday specials doing this. It's all the same voice actors, right? It doesn't have the celebrities. I will say this: all those holiday specials, the voice actors from those holiday specials, seem to be much more into their roles now. And it is just cool to see the bad guys' characters like committing crimes and stuff. Again, because we don't really get that out of the movies. Because the whole point of the bad guys is that, hey, they were criminals in the first one, but they were not to be criminals in the first one, and then the second one, they're not criminals, but they go back to crime. So I guess there's a little bit of that, but I still have fun with it. It's not. It's a very like mesh show. It's kind of a show that is nice to throw out on the background. Like this was basically when I get up in the morning. This would be the first show I was throwing on an episode. I'd throw on an episode a day until I got finished with this show because it's only like 9 episodes. So I was finished in a little over a week watching all the episodes, just throwing on episodes a day because this is kind of that relaxing vibe of a show of like, hey, I just woke up at 6 a.m. and I'm not ready to get out of bed, so give me about 30 minutes kind of show. And, I think kids who really love the bad guy stuff will not be super amazed by it, but they'll be engaged enough that maybe they shut the fuck up for a little bit. And if you're as a parent who's like, my kids need to shut the fuck up for a little bit, I'm joking, but it is kind of one of those shows. Let me know your thoughts. Like, share, and subscribe.